Microsoft Dynamics AX 2009 ships with pre-configured role centers. As users' needs change, they have the freedom to personalize these role centers to meet their needs. IT or business administrators also have the tools to build new role centers to personalize the business application for new roles. To start this demonstration, we will log on as Tim, the IT administrator. Because the Enterprise portal is built on Microsoft Windows SharePoint technology, it is easy for someone like Tim to help the business and provide new role centers when needed. First, Tim is going to create a new web part page to contain the web parts that make up the role center. From the Create page, Tim can select to create a web part page. This allows him to assemble the collection of web parts that are needed to present the information for the role center. Here, Tim can create a name for the role center page and select the template he wants to use. Tim can choose where the page is stored so that it is easy to find and organize the pages. In this case, we have the Enterprise Portal document library already created for us. When Tim has finished, he can click the Create button. Tim can now add the web parts. The first one that he is going to add is the Unified Work List. Next, Tim will find and locate the web part he wants to use. The benefit of being built on Microsoft Windows SharePoint technology is that there is a range of existing web parts designed to display rich content from multiple applications and sources. You can see that the web part has now been added to the page. There is no need for coding. You simply select from the list. Tim can add another page to show indicators from Microsoft Dynamics AX. In this example, he can add the Queues web part to show status indicators. Now that the web part has been added, Tim can add a queue. Other users can also personalize it with additional queues later. Tim can select from the existing list of queues. In this case, Carl is the materials manager and is interested in the planned purchase orders. This is just one of many queues that can be selected. Users can also create their own queues from a list page in Microsoft Dynamics AX. A report is always a good tool to display information on the Role Center page. For this example, Tim will select a web part that displays a report from Microsoft Dynamics AX using Microsoft SQL Server Report Services. Tim will be able to see right away that the web part has been added. Now he can go and choose the properties that are needed to display the report. As you can see, Tim can select from an extensive list of reports. For now, he will select the Purchases in the Past Periods chart, which will give Carl a visual display of the number of previous purchases. Tim can adjust the height to display the chart properly. Tim can now see a preview of the page displaying the report with the chart he just added. For the moment, Tim has finished adding web parts to make the Role Center page. He can come back at any time to add more and modify the page. He can also adjust the spacing and layout of the page at any time. Now Tim can add the Role Center page to the administration setup in Microsoft Dynamics AX. Tim can use the application object tree to associate the page he just created to the business application. This is done using a simple URL link. Tim can add the new URL from the AOT. Adjusting the properties allows Tim to associate the link and set this URL as a home page. Assigning a label lets us display a more sensible, friendly name, rather than the technical name to users. The page is designated as a role center via the home page property. Now that Tim is finished, he can do the final setup to enable users to access the page. From the Administration Area page, Tim can configure the user profiles. From here, Tim can add the new profile for the Materials Manager. You can see that the page and the association that we made in the AOT is now in the list of role centers. This is how simple it is to create a new role center page. There is one last step, which is to associate it to a user. Tim can do this from the same setup form. Tim will add Carl so that Carl sees the new role center as his default role center. You can see from this demonstration that Microsoft Dynamics AX 2009 can easily be customized to create new role centers. This enables role centers to be tailored easily for your business. In a few minutes, you can easily put together a new page to show the relevant data for that role. Pulling information together from existing web parts to show data from Microsoft Dynamics AX or other applications is easy for the IT staff or a business administrator. This enables your users to get the most out of the business application, saving you time and consulting resources that would typically be needed for other ERP applications you might be evaluating. For more information, contact your Microsoft representative.